to read a piece of an epic poem, working title, The King of Death. This is a poem, a project that I entered into a year or two ago. Inspired by the tale in the Mabinogion of how Prince Pwyll meets the king of the underworld, and they swap places, with Pwyll to spend a year as the king of Annwn, each changing shape into the other so that no one will know, not even the king's wife. From this, I had the idea that I would write a verse for every day of that year. Usually a verse a day, sometimes several. But in all, it brought me to 365 verses, plus one, to make it a year and a day. And as it happened, each verse had 9 lines. The length of those lines might vary, and occasionally might be missing. But the basic form was of 9 lines of poetry to make a verse, 1 verse a day for a year, covering the arc of this traveller into death, his sojourn there for a year with the Queen, and then his return. Yuletide to me is a time between the years. The old year closes on the eve of the solstice. The new year begins on the morn of New Year's Day. And the time between is a time between. I think many people feel this way in the days between Christmas Day and New Year's Day. For me, it's slightly extended. And so I've chosen the part of the poem where he begins to realize he has to go back to life. He begins to prepare to go back to life. The Queen helps him prepare to go back to life. And I'll explain a few threads that I go to before. The Queen initially did not know that this was not her husband. He kept his distance from her. He wouldn't touch her. He wouldn't sleep with her. Gradually, she got to know that this was not her husband, and gradually she got to know who it was. And she charged him to defend the land when an usurper came to replace the king, and he does defend the land. And with their increasing closeness, she began to understand him and he her. And now, as I say, they both recognize that just as we need to go back into the new year, and we might wish to prepare for that rather than wait on an instant of midnight to take us one place to another, we might want to take a few days or a few nights to think of ourselves getting ready to go back to life. So this begins the third part of the poem, The King of Death. And one of a third to remember through his sojourn in this kingdom. He's been seeking his mother, who has gone there before. I am preparing to go back for the king of the dead, as if I were ready to die. How does one prepare to return to life, to return to not knowing, saying goodbye, still here, saying goodbye? She brings me to her bed, so full of grace and beauty, touches my hand to her belly and breast, kisses me, like I were watching through glass. She takes me into her. Is this returning to life? I think we lie 1,000 years around the swell of her, the fat softness of me. Nothing came out of me, but I felt the firm squeeze of her, saw her eyes flicker, and the rupture of earth settling again slowly. Now we lie together. The iron I carried ran through from my tip to the top of my spine. Knowing me unbending, she went, glistening in my fingers like water falling through sunlight. And when she came back, she whispered, "My husband is here." "We must travel," she'd said, our eyes meeting. "We must travel," I'd said. We dressed, a mixture of hers and mine covered our faces. The wakeful dead around us rose as we approached, settled as we passed. The way we walk, it changes with who we walk with. Else we would never walk together. The way we talk also. It is not pretense. It is agreement. It might be dancing. Are we escaping? There is no escape. You and your words. When you go back, you will be dressing yourself in life, like new blossom or bud. When you return, there is something which is something only life can do. You will no longer know what the harvest will be. Are we escaping? Does the king follow us? Is he a jealous king? The king of death remains what he is, before you, within you. In life, he is jealous. Here, everything is his. Then where do we travel? Into the kingdom of death, into my queendom. The long dead stir as we pass them, the longer dead stir as we leave them, the longest dead. I wonder if they are still here, if they can still remember. The hook, I remember, was a moment. I was nowhere else. I was no other time. And death was forgotten. My baby word, death, was forgotten. I was at the edge at which things slip through from the other side. Like the valve of a heart, Here, then through. The turn of a breath. We're going this way. No, it's this way. Time is moving. I can go here. Oh, I am everywhere. Touching, I saw her for every age she was, all at once. Recollection is slower. I follow her, and her layers come back to me. Skin, unformed, in bloom, gathered up, topped with bark. Perhaps she sees me now, stripped of her husband's face, every age I ever am. And unfinished. A gap for the day I have not lived. There will always be this year I did not live, lived by the King of Death. Anun, Anuven, the name of the place I called the Kingdom of Death. How it is reached, I do not know, nor do the dead. I did not know when I called it death that they would giggle as I left. My mother said, I wanted you to feel safe all the days, in your own resilience or in mine, in the hands of your father, in your own or in mine. In birth, though, we bring you here, caught in your father's death or in mine. Even here, I do not know what death is, what death will be. I have seen them depart. I have seen them arrive. I have not passed through that door, the door that fits so neatly. You would not know it is there. But I am still hooked on that moment. So much occurring, so much unseen. To one side, the whole of my life. To the other, the rest of it. And his face between. Left in my life, taken to death, and his face between. Are you still afraid to come here? Afraid? I am in the kingdom of the dead. But are you afraid to come here? Afraid? It is easy enough to be here. But are you afraid to come here? The coming here, that is part of life. And this almost made me vomit. I want my body to be warm still, though it's not me wearing it. I want the skin to hold some tension, the flesh still muscled. The King of Death wears me. I cannot bear the thought of it puddled, lifeless, falling away, seen by my children. I am in the kingdom of death, where everything has moved, so there is no need for motion, except I am pulled by her hand, not knowing if I am ready, except I am pulled by the Queen of Death into her queendom. Because here I see everything I am and ever was. I am still to become something else. The king has promised me. My hands hold my fear. They hold it, being the only thing they can hold, all else uncatchable. Desire is hand-shaped, while the bones in my hand are broken, being unable to clasp it. Desire is a grabber and makes my hands all thumbs, and those swollen, being unable to pick up the fine things desired. My arms pretended once to be wings, umbrellas now defeated by wind, inside out and ultimately stripped away, shoulders resigning against my wish. Ribs open like fingers, releasing, a bird flies away. Spine like the root of a weed pulled up, won't grow here again. Pelvis and legs drop away, and all the dead weight in between. I hold to my neck like a fist, choking, don't want to breathe air into lungs, no lungs to catch it. You've not been breathing this year, she says, as she unbuckles my skull. Thumbs pushing into my brain like clay, she keeps a steady gaze. Frown on her own brow keeps me calm, has me worry. Nobody knows what they're doing, still we do. I would prefer that she kissed me. That thought is seen, noted, put to one side. I want her to see that, put to one side, and other thoughts of comfort. No, I do not. Her thumbs pushing. Do not. I do not want to see that. Everyone is known in the kingdom of death, till a last why and wherefore, and so understood. Even the looking away, which is part of the looking. It is the looking away that keeps the rest of us all so alone. This mucus, sticky cling, sickening around an unlit hole, this worm-long thread spilling out, pulled, put aside to make a greater mess. This head, fierce-eyed, snot-haired, no longer part of the carrier. I think perhaps I can fall away now. Stand easy now. Only so much to do. Clean it up, keep it warm, keep it fed. Life. This is the way you will come when you come to leave the kingdom. Anuvan, not the kingdom of death. You will need another word for that. But this is the way you will come when you come to leave. Now that I find that I have not been breathing, no, just holding the air in my lungs to come and go as it pleases, like fishes. I didn't expect it. No, I didn't expect it. I kind of expected it. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. That was a mercy. You quietly there and gone. You didn't expect it. Quietly sleeping, cat on your lap. No food has passed my lips. No water has spilled from me, nor seed, nor sweat, nor single hair, no pared nail. I have not soiled the kingdom of the dead. I have not cried a tear, and so I long to live. Sometimes I crash. Sometimes now she sees, and it is she who shields me. In truth, she shields the dead from the living man, disguised as their king, crying for his mother. The living man, crying for the dead. Hooked on a moment. I cannot move without leaving my heart behind. Let me breathe. Just breathe tender, warm air till I can move around it, feel the sharp barb bleed away. Where is the comfort here? I miss the next moment, which brings hope in the land of the living. Sweet bliss of hope, soft hand of forgetting, the gentle pace of walking away. Because we haven't the strength of the dead to bear all we are, with so much still to come. So I dressed in mourning robes, skirts of taffeta and veil, sat by the lake of all unborn, where the dead rarely come. Later I would swim, for now I dribbled water in my eyes. Gratitude for my mother's life. Pictures of my whole heart. Child's heart unsafe, child's heart thrust, lover's heart kept as hostage, father's heart paid in ransom, son's heart unheld. In the lake of the not yet born, whole heart blazing against the cold. I saw the Queen's breast before she gave me permission, even though I looked away. Her husband's magic eclipsed by her own clarity, she shows me a whole heart beneath the flesh, which is beautiful, invisibly beating. Not wanting my mother to know what I saw at the last, the flesh falling away, the teeth loose, the hair unnatural, the collapse in my mother's face. But my mother knew Of course. Of course, my mother said. If I could only get out of the kingdom, out of here. This is mine, said the queen, not his. I found myself wearing a cape, stretching back behind for seeming centuries. Would you like me to unhook it? She asked. Not me. Not mine. Not here. Perhaps when you return to life, you will see my face there. What am I to return to? A shortness of breath, of knowledge, a brevity of time, a wild dash, hands that cling to nothing, a gradual decline, an end to all possibility? Yes. She is soft and shaky and holds such metal in her breath. Fool I was to think the queen was the king's, when the king is the queen's, in her power. What you call death, giggles from the childlike dead, already is. Life, silence from the hearers, hush. Life is not yet. There's a tumble to be taken. Those who have lived enjoying their gambles and rolls. The dying involves not dying. We need a new word for the death that does not kill us, but it involves my hands, elbow deep, in every wound they have made, choking in the blood. The way the clench feels like a screaming song, tightens on itself and then tightens again until its own tension, as if it could pass through itself into release. There is only walking back through the way you came. See yourself before you did it, you doing it, done. Then walking on again with the understanding of you doing it. To speak of the queendom, my mouth is stuffed with silence. I have only ears. She knows, she speaks. I become her. All the world is laying on me, as if I can be trusted. So I must trust. Thanks for listening in. Thank you, Mad. Loved to hear you, see you there. Still to work on the rest of it. The verses are there, but it's huge. Anyway, keep well. I'll be doing some more tomorrow of the different poems. Glad Yuletide and look forward to the new year when each of us return to life.